What's up, guys? Welcome back to the EG Pot of Thunder with your boy, the young light-skinned Keith Sweat. Back with returning guest. Sounds way better with my guy, so prosperous. Finally, we are prosperous on this podcast.
Yo, it's so pleasure being here, and hopefully my audio is on point this time. So I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Hold me accountable, baby. Hold me accountable. And we are here talking about accountable. HIIT boot camp and NC Fit instructor, my guy, Chris. Zapata C_11, baby. Let's get it. Introduce yourself, baby.
Yo, Effie, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Appreciate you bringing me onto your platform and letting me share my thoughts with you.
Nah, man, I appreciate you coming in. It's been a long time in the making. We I asked you a couple months back, but you were too focused on your first fitness. What would you say? It's competition.
So yeah, competition. I compete currently at a local level, Olympic weightlifting, but hoping to make it to a regional and soon to be national level.
Game season,
baby. And that was your first competition, so you were extremely focused. And now you have been on a second one as well. So let's start off with the first one. So what was even like your ambition to get into that? Because you have to be the first Olympic lifter that I personally know. So what was like your inspiration behind that? What made you get on that path?
So I started off a couple years ago into CrossFit, and I fell in love with CrossFit. I always liked more of the barbell work versus the gymnastics and everything else that comes with CrossFit. So I began to more hone and focus myself more into the weightlifting portion. And luckily, through friends, through social media, I discovered all these local meets, and I just bit the bullet. No coach, nothing. I literally trained myself, prepared myself. I participated in my first meet, and that's when we were talking about the mindset and everything. So
your first one, so going back, you said you trained yourself. Do you have any regrets on that? Would you have gone back and hired a coach to do that?
100%. I definitely would have. And if you're interested in competing in anything like that, any sport like this, I definitely recommend getting a coach or seeking guidance from someone who knows more than you.
So what was your mindset behind on your first attempt where you were like, nah, I'm going to do this myself? Why'd you go that route opposed to the coaching route the first time around?
My mindset really, it's me against the world. It's me against everyone else who participates in this. It's a very lonely sport. It's honestly just you, a platform, barbell, and 3 judges when you get up there on that podium and on that stage, excuse me. So when I got there, I was just like, this is just me. This is 6 months in the making, grinding, squatting, pressing every day. Some people hit legs 2 times a week. It's leg day every day, baby.
Hey, that's what you need to get those. That's why there's a lot of chicken legs out there, because no one's even doing legs sometimes, not even once a week sometimes at that point.
Nah. We do leg day every day.
How about you, Jerry? How many times you doing legs?
like 2, 3. Why you put me on the spot?
I want to know your workout, because you are in the gym as well. You're always 9 o'clock in the morning. Jerry finished your workout.
Yeah, I'm always working on myself. Never give up.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, like I said, you're one of my, I said in the previous podcast, one of my Apple Fitness friends on here. So if he's ever lying to me, like, yo, Jerry, what you doing? Oh, no, I'm chilling at home. You're lying, bro. You just finished your workout. I know you're fucking lying to me. You can't avoid these fucking hangouts or podcasts.
I'm always saying, yo, if you ain't burning a G, you ain't working out.
You don't work hard enough if you didn't burn minimal 1K.
Is that what you think you're thinking at least?
100%.
So if you finish your workout, you're like at 9:55. You're like, nah, I need to over 1,000.
Leave that thing on and go for a cool down walk or something. Figure it out.
To G after a cool down walk.
So so what was how'd you begin that? Like, you found a coach. What was your mindset? Like, were you just Googling stuff, or you just out here literally just free balling it? Did you have no type of plan at all where you were going for?
No, I honestly, there's a lot of coaches on Instagram and stuff who release parts of their workouts, and obviously I don't think this is sort of my philosophy on everything. There's no specific template that will lead you to success. I think everyone is different. We're all human beings, right? So that makes us all the same thing, but we are all each individuals. We're all different that way, and I just took things from what some of the greats did athletes-wise and what coaches do. a lot of free trial coaching. So I would get all these different workouts and I would put everything together on my own.
6 days, you're like, oh fuck, cancel.
Literally, I was on that wave, and I was just looking for whatever truthfully worked for me, because for a long time I had plateaued and I was hitting the same numbers over and over again.
In this 6-month period of time, or
In
previous times before
in
you were
this
doing it?
in this 6-month period of time, because I only have taken the sport of weightlifting seriously maybe 18 months now. So I hit that plateau and I was like, all right, I need to find a way to step it up. You know, my nutrition's on point. I go out with my friends, don't get me wrong, but I don't drink anymore. I wasn't doing the things that I was doing. I was eating on point, getting my 8 hours of sleep. But for some odd reason, I had plateaued in the gym. Numbers weren't hitting. I wasn't going up anymore.
So where would you attribute that to? Like, you're just plateauing, you're just not staying consistent with these, not having a coach. Would you contribute to that?
I would attribute it definitely to that, because I was doing everything on my own, and I was just doing the same thing over and over again versus expanding my horizons and like seeking more further guidance. Luckily, I found a couple online coaches, did those free trials, took what I learned from them, take what I learned like on the job, take what I learned from just speaking to the coach, my fellow coaches at the gym that I work at. And I just stack everything on top, and I write my own programming and everything.
So, Chris, what advice would you give to someone who's at the gym and is like, damn, I can't get past this number in my weights, and I'm trying to really hit some big numbers and get bigger?
Truthfully, like, I would recommend you seeking guidance from someone, because there's always, in the fitness world, there's always someone who knows more than you. And when you think you know, that's when, like, dude, the iceberg, you just see the tip of the iceberg. You don't know what's underneath. And honestly, once I saw what was underneath, under the water, what the naked eye can't see, that's when I learned the most. So I would recommend seeking guidance, people who train in different disciplines. So sometimes I ask powerlifters for help with my squat, because those guys can squat a house and I can't.
For those who don't know, so what's the difference between a power lifter and Olympic bodybuilding? Right?
So no. So bodybuilding is a different discipline as well. So bodybuilding is obviously a physique show. Powerlifting, you have your 3 different lifts. You have your bench press, you have your back squat, and you have your deadlift. And then Olympic lifting is 2 lifts. You have your clean and jerk and your snatch. Your snatch is moving the bar from the ground overhead in 1 movement. And then your clean and jerk is moving the bar from the ground overhead in 2 movements. So you have your clean and then you have your jerk and then you press the bar overhead.
So why'd you go with Olympic opposed to the other 2?
Honestly, Olympic lifting, I really like it because of the athleticism involved. So I'm an athlete. I consider myself an athlete. Let me reiterate. I like it because you see all these dudes who powerlift, you see all these strong people, but they're not mobile. You know, like, can you sprint and then turn on a dime? You know, I'm not saying I'm like an NFL wide receiver who can.
Hill.
I'm not saying I'm Tyreek Hill, but I'm the Walmart Tyreek Hill. Ask about me on the field. Like, trust me, I can go.
Chris Hill out there.
Yo, I like being able to sprint, come to a complete, like, not come to a stop, but turn on a dime, or say I need to jump over something. Like, you know, you never know.
So about power lifters, there's getting more. Bodybuilders be getting mass.
Yeah, bodybuilding is
how do
mass.
power lifters look typically then?
Like,
who was a famous power lifter that people can Google when you say their name?
Oh, see, I don't really.
You don't even pay attention to power
I don't
lifters.
really care about powerlifting, especially because of the way they be bench pressing. Luckily, IPF, which is like the International Powerlifting Association, they changed the rules and regulations for bench pressing, so we're going to be able to see some range of motion, and that's something that I'm big on, range of motion.
Before they changed it, how were they lifting? How were they benching?
Man, so there was this girl, it was like a 13-year-old Russian girl or something. She was like benching like 500 plus pounds.
That's nuts.
But she wasn't benching. She had a whole back, like her back was completely arched, and more than anything, her chest was moving up to down. So now your elbow actually has to like fully break the plane of your back, and then you actually have to press it up, versus I'm gonna manipulate the range of motion.
There's like kind of like doing
versus like a nice little touch and go, which, I mean, hey, if that's your thing and you want to rock with that, but when you talk about range of motion,
I've never understood. So why do people do that massive like back arch anyway?
It makes it again, it cuts the range of motion, so it cuts the distance you need to move that barbell, meaning you don't have to be that strong.
So when you're benching, you're flat backed.
I don't bench.
Oh, you don't bench?
No, we don't bench. We don't waste our time with that.
So what's like your typical going everywhere at this point? 'Cause that's smoothing transition really though. So like, what is your workouts like?
So like
Consist of Jesus.
a typical day in the gym for me, I have one training session a day, maybe two. So it starts off with a 15-minute warm up and mobility. So you have to be really mobile, like squats ass to grass. Like my butt touches my heels every time I squat. So I do 15 minutes of mobility, work on some explosive movements. I take pieces from like track and field because they really have really good hip opening movements and like really explosive movements that I really like. And then I do a 20 to 30 minute strength piece that involves amount of sets and reps. So either, depending on the day, I'll either do clean and jerk or snatches. And then after I finish like a complex,
What's a complex?
So you break down the movement, the clean. So the clean starts at the floor and you usually end up front squatting the weight and you stand it up. So I'll do like a high hang power clean, which means I'm cleaning from my hip or my knee, or I'm doing multiple cleans and then into a split jerk or a push jerk or even a push press. Sometimes you take the legs away. You want to build those shoulders, different movements. And then it usually ends with a little bit of a 10, 15 minute Metcon workout, which will be like 10 minutes on the clock. You got 3 movements to do. Do as many rounds as you can.
It sounds like a military type of thing. Metcon sounds like something you see like in a movie.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Nike makes some fire Metcons shoes, so it's the name of a style of workout. But yeah, I get what you're saying with that though.
It sounds like a militant type of thing. But so that's your workout every single day? Just your regimen, or just like just one of your days?
That's usually Monday through Thursday. Friday, shout out to Sonny G Webster, GB. My boy watched my Instagram story once, and that blew up my head. He's an actual Olympic weightlifting athlete. He lifted at an Olympic level a few years ago. Fridays, full send Fridays, big send Fridays. We do the Bulgarian style day where you're 1 rep max. So like right now I'm looking at a 210 pounds for a clean and jerk. So we just rip 205, 200 pounds. For heavy singles, meaning just once, you just do it 1 rep and that's it, as much as you can.
Damn, I mean, so were you doing that type of working out beforehand? Is that why you maybe plateaued? Like, would you get it bored beforehand? Like, when you were plateauing before, or what was the difference of why you were plateauing before and staying consistent now?
I think more than anything, I was plateauing due to the fact that I just didn't have a series. So like I didn't have a strength series going. So usually like 8-9 week programming where you start off with high volume, low weight, and then you're slowly building down to a 1 rep max as you get closer to week 8 or 9. I didn't really have that. I was just going for 3s and 5s. That was my old trusty number, 5x5, 3x3, stuff like that. Just changing the rep schemes and following a true strength series worked out a lot better.
I think that's good advice because people usually stick to their numbers, and me in particular, when I go to the gym, I'm always like, hey, if I'm gonna hit this workout, I need to hit like at least 10 reps of this, and kind of just relying on that trusted number kind of leaves you at a plateau level. So switching that up is definitely some good advice.
Do you feel like that's something you could do? Like maybe switch it up a little bit, do different type of workouts?
Yeah, just lifting heavier and doing less reps. That's some great advice, and it's really a simple switch.
Yeah, because I follow this guy, Joe DeFranco. He's a personal trainer. He actually does a lot of NFL players, WWE wrestlers. He actually is Triple H's personal trainer. And I listen to his podcast a lot, and he says that the number one thing he sees is kind of what you just said, is where people don't follow a structured lifting plan. He's like, not even just mine. You need any trainer. You can't just go to the gym and just do whatever. Like, you need to be at someone or anybody's, like, look up whoever, CT Fletcher, look up this person. At least be on some type of, like, consistent regimen is the only way you're going to see consistent results. If you're just going to the gym and just winging it every day, you're never going to see results. That's one of the main reasons why you're not going to see results.
Yeah, that's something that happened to me. I was just going and I was just doing what I learned to do in my like beginner years of weightlifting, and that's sort of the reason why I plateaued. And then I did my research. You know, I found a good training program to follow. I found a strength wave to follow, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks, whatever it may be, and you do 7, 8 weeks of volume. That 9th week is your testing week. So that's when you hit those heavy singles. That's when you try to beat your old PR. So
Yeah, so you're doing that. You're training like an athlete. You're eating like an athlete. So what you said you're eating good right now. So what does like your eating habits consist of? So those who maybe like, damn, you need to do both. What do I need to eat? Because a lot of people don't know what they should be eating.
So this is gonna come out a little controversial, but I follow this because it works for me. And again, I take pieces of everything, and I try to cultivate it to work for me. I sort of go on like a hybrid carnivore diet. So three meals a day. I don't really eat carbs anymore, like bread, oatmeal. I used to be on that whole like a bowl oatmeal a day. I don't do that anymore. I wake up 3 eggs, sunny side up, cooked in butter.
That's specific.
Very specific. Cooking in butter. I don't use no seed oils. The only oil I use is avocado oil or olive oil. Sorry. So I use 2 types of oils. Avocado
I don't
oil.
use oil, but I do use oil, so get that right.
So I don't use like these seed oils, like these really popular seed oils, because they're really not good for you. They're inflammatory.
But you're saying that's not good for you, but butter is?
Butter is really good for you.
Is it?
Cooking in animal fat is one of the best things you could do. And again, it's a controversial topic. A lot of people don't agree with it.
I'm here for I'm not even debating. I'm just asking intrigued because you typically don't hear that. You typically hear like stay away from butter. It's not good for you. It's terrible for you. So where does that mindset even come from to cut you off before the rest of your meals? But
so it's this Instagram
controversy.
This Instagram page I follow. It's they're called Buttered and something, and pretty much it talks about carnivore diet and eating red meat daily, eating using butter to cook things versus different types of seed oil, like grapeseed oil. Like
Question.
Yeah.
Is this essentially like a keto-based diet, or?
It's not so much keto because I don't think I'm ever pushing like into ketosis, and I never need to be in ketosis because I know like if you're doing keto, the true way, you like check your blood and stuff. I don't do that. I just eat red meat and eggs, and occasionally to switch it up, I eat chicken thighs.
Bro, I can't do chicken.
No,
I love chicken, but like, no. So I love chicken, but when I'm eating on a regimented diet where like I'm hitting the gym, I want to eat right. Chicken just gets the texture of it just gets like it gets to me. I'm like, damn, chicken again. Like I like
chicken gets boring.
Chicken gets boring. No matter what sauce, then you have to use extra sauces to make it taste better.
You eating
add
chicken
more
breast.
calories.
That's why. Don't eat chicken breast. Chicken thighs is the way to go, bro.
I don't any type
Thick
of chicken,
thighs
bro.
save lives. I promise you.
You sound like a slut.
But, I like doing ground turkey. It's easier for me to do ground turkey. Put some jasmine rice in there.
Ground turkey's fucking bland as fuck, bro.
Bro, you gotta put some fucking no salsa zone on there. You gotta put some Mrs. Dash.
Season it up. Don't
Yeah,
be
you gotta
afraid to season your food.
They all have low calories on them anyway. No salt, fucking
Nah.
Mrs. Dash on there. But you know what's funny? When I first started like trying to eat healthier, I would do ground turkey. I'm like, nah, like don't put no seasoning on there. And I was like, mom was helping me out at that point because like she was like, I'll cook it for you. I'm like, oh sure, whatever, why not? Shout out to mom, she was doing it.
Dukes.
And she would put nothing. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, nothing. Straight up.
You
Tasted it. I'm like, ugh.
straight raw dog
nah,
that,
you can't-
bro.
you
You
can't-
wildin'.
I was wild. I thought it was
Raw
like
dog it
puke.
for real.
Bro, that was bad, bro.
Shake some ass.
Oh, that's not the drop I wanted, but shout out to Michelle shaking some ass. I wouldn't mind that, but that's
Yo.
Turkey with no seasoning.
dog.
That's the
Lord,
wildest
bro.
thing. And then you're complaining about chicken. And that's
Both are
just-
bad.
No wonder
but-
you hate like your diet, bro.
Oh, no, like that. It was bad. But so butter is good.
Butter is really
according
good
to
for you.
Chris.
Butter, beef tallow, cook your meat. If you're cooking meat, cook it in its own fat. It's gonna sound messed up, I'm telling you, but it's the best thing you could do for yourself. Cause like even Chipotle, like you ever eat Chipotle, even if you only eat half the bowl, you feel like swollen, right? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, you wanna know why? Cause they cook with rice grain oil. That shit's terrible for you. All these different types of oils aren't really meant for your body. Grapeseed oil, not meant for
Jerry,
you.
you
So
don't
you
look
tell-
like you'll agree.
No, I'm saying no. So I have a question on that. So you're saying these oils keep you thick?
Yeah, no, they're actual like there's studies. Unfortunately, I didn't like. I should have brought a pen and pad with to be able to cite all these
Cite your
things.
sources.
But through the research that I've done, and mind you, I'm 5'7". I used to weigh 190 pounds. I was a big boy. I used to wear small. Now I wear medium. Unfortunately,
Well, you said you were a big boy, but now you went up on a size.
I was. I mean,
Thick.
I'm big. Like I'm big because I hit the gym big.
Oh, okay.
Not really, but I used to be like chubby. So like.
Just transformed the chubby.
So I got like I changed up my diet, like GMOs and all that stuff, and I just like I mean I even went vegan for just like 8 months,
How was that?
and I lost a lot of weight, but I didn't gain any strength, and I was doing like all these, like
All the fads and stuff.
yeah
like that.
I was doing all the fads, Beyond Meat, all that stuff, and
But those should be fire though. I'm not gonna lie.
they're good.
smack.
They're good, yes,
But-
the macros just weren't doing it for me.
Bro, the carbs are like through the roof on those things.
And guess what? All that pea protein and all that stuff, your body doesn't really absorb it.
You know
what's
interesting about like those proteins and all like Beyond Meat is, for example, if you look at the Beyond Meat Impossible Whopper and the original Whopper, there's more calories in the Impossible Whopper than the original Whopper.
yeah.
So, is it really healthy? Healthier?
Is it? What does Chris think?
Questionable.
I'm gonna sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, but that stuff is not good for you, man.
I'm convinced it's not either.
It's not good for you.
It's really, they think it's a healthier alternative because it's not like meat based, but I'm convinced it's
But I feel like more
probably
people
the
are.
same or worse.
I feel like some people just aren't who would eat that though. They're more opposed to like they don't really care about the calories. They care more about like killing cows and stuff like that. Where I think that's one of the main reasons why people would do it. Where they don't even care about the calorie count. They're just like, I don't want to kill more chickens or cows, and that's the possibly the reason opposed to trying to eat
I think
healthier.
that's a fair point to say, but I also think there's also a group of people who eat that food because they think it's healthier.
There's definitely that component of it as well. And there's some people who even do like fasting though. Fasting's not good for you. Where if they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fast for 10 days. It's like, okay, that's not good for you at all, right? But when people say that, I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. Like, but that's not maybe like fast for a day or two, but for 10, 14
No,
days,
that's scary.
Yeah, you're gonna get more fat on that aspect and that route.
That's very
So
scary.
some people are just like doing fast because like they're scared. They're like, oh my god, I gained 20 pounds in 2 months. I need to do something drastic. And I think as all three of us know, it's not going to be. And I'm not saying we're the most fit people in the world, but I think we're all fit for what we're doing. And people try to do like the crazy route, like the quick 10-day route. What can I do? Let me get on this. What was that thing that people used to do? Avocare. People say, oh, the Avocare. I lose weight and.
You know what's a good shortcut? Getting a BBL and then becoming a fitness trainer.
Yo,
Key shortcut right there.
That's a huge shortcut, 100%. It's not funny because in Atlanta, there's like mad people in wheelchairs. I didn't know this. My boy told me because Atlanta's like the main stop for like international flights. So you just can go there and you see mad girls in wheelchairs.
Right.
They standing up with the
Riding the-
wheelchairs
they gotta
because
sit-
they can't sit down on their ass.
they gotta sit facing backwards on the flight. My sister Juliana,
Wow.
shout out to Juli.
So you got a BBL?
she was on a flight back home from Miami, and they had to I'm gonna mess up this story a little bit because my memory's all messed up. But apparently they had to kick a handful of people off the flight because these 3 girls got BBLs. And the weight of the plane wasn't right because the girls had to sit all the way in the back facing the tail.
That's wild.
Yeah, because you can't
Call
sit
for
down
a
on your
BBL,
ass.
bro.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of girls, they do that BBL. They just want the lift, and then it's like some people just want the quick fix. It's like, bro, there's no quick fix.
Yeah, moral of the story, there's no shortcuts
No
in
shortcuts.
fitness. And the people who think you can take a shortcut, you're only doing yourself a disservice.
You're only extending the journey.
Yeah, because
100%.
then they're gonna do like a quick fix, and then it's gonna be like, oh, I can go out and do the same thing I was doing before, and they're gonna get it right back.
Right back.
Like especially all those fads, like Advocate, they have like the right mindset of it, but it's like yeah, you need to do it's mostly just vitamins, CLA, fat burners. You need to eat right. I mean, that's what you need to do regardless. So you need to do it the long term way opposed to just a quick fix.
Yeah, nah. If whenever you're on the internet and you see anything 10 minutes, 15 minutes, anything fast like that, It's a lie. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Run away.
They're selling you a lie. They're selling you something fake that's not going to work.
They're trying to get money.
Because you didn't, this is something that I preach a lot too. You didn't get to where you're at, where you're uncomfortable in your own skin overnight. So what makes you think you're going to be able to get out of that overnight? It's just as long as it took you, is going to take you just as long to be able to be comfortable again.
Yeah, and 100% facts to that. So butter is good. What else is your diet then? Butter in the morning, sunny side eggs. You have 2 more meals to tell people how you get in shape for Olympic lifting.
I eat that again for lunch, and I eat
Same
that
exact
again
thing?
for dinner. Yes, and I
Wait, same thing? All 3 meals?
same thing.
Damn, your diet's boring.
I throw in I eat a few bananas, you know. I'll have some peanut butter throughout the day I'll have like an English muffin with some peanut butter, you know. Watermelons are really up there. Shout out to Eric. Eric put me onto that watermelon. Ate a watermelon one day. Added 10 pounds to one of my lifts. Crazy. Swear. I swear.
You were just really excited that day. You got some girl broke down. Yo, fuck this bitch. Just fucking put it
My
up.
boy was heated. He went,
To switch it up though, like obviously eating that every day is very tiresome. But to switch it up, I'll do the occasional like chickpea pasta, some chicken, you know, chicken and chickpea pasta. I'll throw that in there just to switch it up.
How about no seasoned ground turkey?
No. We don't do that. We
sounds fire.
tenemos sazon, you know. We got that shit at the crib.
Damn, so it's eggs every day. Damn, not even no chicken, no steak, nothing.
I mean, no, I eat steak. 3 eggs and a steak.
Oh, I didn't hear the steak part.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about tuna?
So, when I was in the military, when I was overseas, I used to eat a lot of tuna out of a pouch. So, I ate like tuna
Scarred.
like 3 times. Yeah, I'm scarred. Just like with beef jerky. I used to love beef jerky and Girl Scout cookies. I can't eat that anymore.
You
Cause,
used to have that in the military too?
oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They used
That's
to
meant to
care
be a joke,
packages,
but-
huge boxes full of beef jerky and Girl Scout cookies. And
Is
I just...
that when you gained the 190 fat?
Oh, no. That was already... I was losing that weight when I was overseas.
Yeah, so talk about the military. So start off with that. So how did you even get into that? Do you think that had any like reason to get part of your journey where you got into fitness? Do you attribute that to the fitness journey at all, or 2 separate things? Does that have nothing to do with each other? No correlation.
A little bit. I used to... I've always been into fitness though. I've always been athletic. I've always liked to maintain a certain level of athleticism because Central Falls boys, we always play in pickup soccer somewhere. And I don't want to be that one guy that's out of breath. You know, I'm always hustling on the field. Trust me. But no, in the military, when I was in there, I always just like to stay fit, and I was always trying to get stronger. You know, because you never like, as corny as it might have been to think of now, it's corny. But I was always like, yo, what if I got to carry my boy? And I can't carry my boy because he weighs 220, and he's a fucking like I had my boy Davis, and he was this big dude, like no neck. He had no neck.
One of those guys.
Boy was just traps and shoulders. And I was like, yo, God forbid I got to carry this kid in full kit. I got to carry him, his kit, his gun, and everything else. So I've always been chasing, I've always just...
Wanted to look at least.
Yeah. I've always just been chasing getting stronger. And something else I like to say, too, is like, just be hard to kill, man. Because one day, you never know, as crazy as it sounds, you never know, someone might try you and make it hard for them to kill you, bro.
That I've never thought of it like that before, but since you put it out there, you do legit never know.
Nah, for real. Get hard to kill. Don't be soft.
And question, so when you were at 190 in your heaviest, what was like, were you still working out at that time, or was there like a breaking point
Nah,
that made you work out?
So my breaking point was I put on my uniform and it was like Christmas time, and like the bottom 2 buttons were like, yo, them shits were about to give out, bro. Like them shits were about to, like, I forgot what movie it was from the 90s where the button pops on the dude's button up and some old lady chokes on it. But like on that level, and I was just like, yeah, something's got to change. I got to stop eating Chick-fil-A every day.
So like, I'm assuming it was fit perfectly fine beforehand, and now.
Oh yeah. Before
What was that transition? How long and difference was it fitting perfectly fine, and then it wasn't?
Oh, it happened in like 3 months because I was actually getting ready to go overseas, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna be able to have access to all this delicious food, so let's just get a dirty bulk going before we step off.
That's wild. 3 months, things can change. Literally, like you see, even like when people like my boys, my boy Pat, he played college football, and then I'm like, bro, it happens quick. Like, he's like, nah, bro, I'm never gonna not be in shape. Literally, like 3 months later, he's like, bro, I gained like 30 pounds.
It happens when you live a sedimentary lifestyle and a comfortable lifestyle where every day you're doing the same thing and you're comfortable with it and you're eating that comfort food. You're not getting up and you're not getting hard.
Yeah,
It's not good, bro.
I think it's just interesting to see like the normal transition of like when you're working out all the time, it's very easy for you to even fall back into that hole of eating unhealthy because you can kind of fall back on like, oh, I can just go back to the gym. And you kind of just keep sinking yourself back into that hole and not realize like, oh shit, it's been a month or two and I put on like 20 pounds because you feel like you can just get back to the gym and lose that.
And that's when that snowball effect happens where you're like, oh, all right, I'll start next week. I'll start next week. I'll start next week. Next week turns into 2 years, turns into 5 years, turns into when you try to do that quick fix. That's literally how it happens.
And then you're looking at what's that guy's page? Six pack shortcut abs or whatever it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The shortcut.
Yeah, yo, like do this for 10 minutes. Like you don't get abs from doing sit-ups, and these people sell that.
10 minutes a day.
There's no fucking way, bro.
Nah.
I tried those. It doesn't work. I tried them. But
Nah, the magazines at Stop and Shop, like those Life magazines or People magazines, lose 60 pounds in 2 months. Here's the secret how. Like, fuck out of here.
there's no fucking way, bro.
No way. That's all water weight and all that other bullshit.
Yeah, you get back
And
to it real
cap.
quick. Getting back to like just real quick to the military. So, what was like your reasoning behind joining the military? I'm always intrigued with people's stories about that because if I'm just being honest, that never even like crossed my mind. So I'm always intrigued, especially now with my brother doing it. So just hearing other people's stories about wanting to join and that route.
Yeah, so I was 19 years old. I was in college, had just dropped out. I didn't really know what to do in my life. I needed guidance. And I always had a feeling I was going to join the military, preferably after college with a degree so I could go the different route. But unfortunately, that card was not in my hands. So I took what I could get and I joined off of the strength of, the opportunity to work, the employment opportunity alone because it was hard out there at that time. I come from a family that a lot of my cousins were either in the army or currently serving in the army. So it was just something that, like, part of me, it was always going to be something, but not just that, just like the way it's set up. I had just dropped out of school. I didn't know what to do in my life. I needed that guidance. So it was.
Do you feel like pressure from like your parents at that point, or like?
No, not so much. My parents did not pressure me or push me at all. It was more so they wanted me to make sure I was making the decision that internally was correct for me. And in the moment and in the time and up until today, like I 100% agree that, like, 6 years of my life went well. Like, I don't feel like I wasted 6 years.
And so it's all part of the process and that you needed that. If not, who knows where you would have ended up.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It was definitely a stepping stone, and it was a way for me to build as a person, build my character, and just knowledge, the training, all that stuff paid itself,
Nice. So you sucked that out. You seeked that out yourself. You didn't need anybody to give you the extra push to do it.
No, not at all.
Do you think that's like in everybody's car, or is that just like, I mean, it wasn't in my car. So like, would you recommend that to somebody who's feeling lost at that point? Like, would you recommend that same thing to like a 19-year-old who drops out, or do you think everybody has their own path? Or?
No, not at all. I wouldn't recommend it to someone who's only 19. I would definitely tell them to work hard, find a job, keep your head down, work hard, try to get a degree, and then go in. The best way to go in is with a degree, become an officer in the military. That 100%.
Why is it the best route to that?
You get paid way more. You get treated way better. I mean, the training is a lot. The training in the beginning is a lot harder, but in the long run, it's a lot better. So the treatment, because when you're an officer versus enlisted, it's two different things. You enlist, you just sign a contract right in. When you're an officer, you need a degree to get in, and then you go and you get selected for whichever route, whatever training route you're gonna take. And as an officer, like, people have to salute you. So that alone, like, speaks for itself. Like, imagine having to salute somebody just because they have a degree.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
Wow.
What did you go for? If you don't mind me asking.
I just went in enlisted.
What's your department?
Oh, I was in the Navy. I was in a Coastal Riverine Squadron, which is now known as Maritime Security Squadron, out of Newport, Rhode Island.
So what's that into? I have literally no idea.
So pretty much we're a unit that does escorts for U.S. Navy assets. So like really big ships coming into ports and overseas and local. So like out of Connecticut, the submarines coming in and out, we pretty much just provide security for them.
Oh, nice. Is that where you're stationed the entire time? Is Newport, or did you go to other places?
Oh, I was in Newport. I was in Connecticut. I went to San Diego for a few months. I was in Virginia for like a year. I was in Djibouti, Africa for like 8 months.
How was that?
Hot. I loved it. I don't like the cold.
Like 100?
Like 120 plus.
Holy shit.
One of the hottest places in the world. But it was a dry heat. It wasn't like humid. So like you would step out and it wouldn't feel like you have blankets on you. It just feels hot, if that makes sense.
No. I feel like it would be hot to me. Jesus Christ.
I mean, you would just sweat just being outside, but it was like nice. Like it wasn't like, oh my God, it's so muggy out. It was like, nah, it's
I
hot.
went to visit my brother in San Antonio. It was like 112, and he was out there wearing a sweater and jeans. I'm like, what in the fuck? I'm sweating wearing this t-shirt. He's like, nah, it's okay right
It's
now.
a chill day.
He's like, it's chill. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, imagine wearing like this entire fit, like a
Yeah.
bag. I'm like, I don't care, bro. It's still hot. You tell
Nah.
me it's not hot? He's like, no, this is all right. I mean, bro, you're out of your fucking mind.
Like nighttime, it would hit like 90, 94. I'd be in sweatpants and a hoodie, just cozy and 94 degrees.
Bro, fuck. I'm wearing
Extra greased up.
trying to see if he can. He's flexing right now. He's seeing if he can get that sweat to look at the fucking body oil.
It was super weird, especially then in turn going from Africa to Germany where there was snow on the ground. That was like I was rocking like 3 jackets, 2 pairs of sweatpants because I was freezing. Because like I was just so used to 100+ degrees every day.
You think they do that on purpose to keep you like accustomed to like different type of weather? Because he went from Chicago to San Antonio. I'm like, this is 2 completely fucking different things.
Yeah, no, I mean, so more than anything, the time we spent in Germany was a transitional period. But the way I see it, it was more so like you got to be able to learn to drink before you go back home because we know that's what everyone's going to do. So I spent 5 days in Germany just drinking.
Hey.
Just being able to get your tolerance up because overseas, like when you're where we were, you could only get 2 drinks a night. So it got to the point where 2 drinks, like, and I was good. Like off of that, I was good.
Damn, lightweight.
Very lightweight.
Did you hit the red light district too?
Nah. Unfortunately, no. We didn't get to enjoy Germany that much. We did get to like go out and see stuff, but not that much.
How was that aspect of like the military, like traveling the world? Like, did you take that? You think you took it for granted, or you?
That's something.
Enjoyed it in the moment.
Oh no, I enjoyed every moment. You know, anytime I could get like a stamp in my passport, I got it. I was always like, yo, I know you guys don't really do stamps anymore, but can you? And they'd be like, hold on. So I'd like hold up immigration for like 10 minutes just to get a stamp. I didn't care, but it was all part of like, you know, the reason I ever even got on a plane when I was 18, 19 was to go to boot camp. The first time I ever got on a plane.
That's nuts.
So it was. I always saw it as they were giving me an opportunity. You know.
That's a different route. So, are you still like active? You still have any like ties to the military? I have no idea how it works. It's all
No. I've been out now since last November, and I haven't looked back. I miss it, and I loved it, and my boys call me every day and talk to me. I have boys who are getting ready to go downrange now, and they call me and they tell me like, yo, we miss you, bro. We wish you were here. And like I agree. I wish I was there too, but I'm also grateful I'm not there because the opportunity for me to succeed in a different path and to be able to pursue a different dream is here now. So it's like I miss it, but not really. I don't miss it that much to go back.
So I know some people typically like you hear these stories about people in the military when they leave, they have like no guidance or sometimes they don't know what they're doing next. Did you have that issue, or did you know when you got out you were straight going into the Olympic lifting life, or was that process when you got out?
I definitely had an ego when I got out. I was not trying to just work any job. I was like, well, I'm a veteran now. Like I'm not trying to just work any regular 9 to 5. So it was definitely a process to find a job, but I did end up pursuing employment through a financial institution that intern later, 2 years later, laid me off.
The motherfucker. Oh, wait, this is the last November you got out now. Oh, it's like you were out, but you're still like going.
Yeah, I was like in the reserve, so I was just doing like the weekend warrior stuff.
So the intern financial life wasn't for you neither.
I enjoyed it a lot. You know, paid
Oh,
holidays
they
off and
laid
stuff.
off, yeah.
Like that stuff was good, but in May they laid us off. Like the whole department like got shut down and stuff.
Jesus.
I'm sure that shit flew by since then.
Flew by.
Time flies, yo. I was laid off last year, and dude, literally, I got paid unemployment, and those few months, it was like literally like 6 months of unemployment, but the best money like I could get, and it flew by in like 2 seconds. Next thing you know, I was like, damn, I gotta get a fucking job again.
So how'd you feel in that position? Like, did you kind of feel like Chris at a point where you're like, because I'm not sure if you want to talk your shit, but I know, but you have your master's, correct?
Yeah, I got my master's.
MBA.
So master's in business, correct?
Yes, sir.
So did you feel like maybe like Chris, because I don't have a master's, I have my regular bachelor's, but did you have that type of a time as well? You're like, I'm not working no fucking regular ass job. Like, were you super picky in finding your next career?
I think being on unemployment, I knew that I think I was pretty, with the bonus that like the COVID pandemic was giving, I was getting paid literally almost the same to not even work. And then on top of that, like I had my degree and I have qualifications. I was just chilling. I was like, I'm going to milk this for every minute I got. Like, I'm going to make the best of this opportunity, because working every day, like obviously, you know, you're investing in your future. It's not it.
It's not it. Working a 9 to 5 or just work in general.
It definitely is. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And
brutal.
I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to figure out what I love to do. And it's not just do work or mindless work that I'm doing to serve somebody, but trying to figure out maybe a job that gives me purpose.
So how did you transition that to, you know, you have a job, you don't have to say it, but like now you got a job. So how did you transition to, you know, even accepting this job that you are currently at?
Well, I'll say like, so I work in tech right now. So I work in tech sales. It's not what I want, but I realized in life that we have to take, you know, it's not a loss or anything, but make sacrifices to get to where we want to be. And sometimes it takes time to do things you don't want to do, to figure out the things you like and what you want to do.
Yeah, but it's better that, because obviously now, you know, the COVID like money has gone away. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be that guy like, oh, I'm too good for all this and do nothing? At least you're doing something where you can save up money up, focus on your next plan, which is what I'm assuming what you're doing right now. You're saving up, you're getting some, at least your resume built, and then at the same time you're still looking towards the future to see what's the next move.
Yeah, I think in general, at this point in my life, I'm trying to figure out purpose and how do I correlate making money with my purpose. And through time, I think I'll figure it out. But for now, I'm just enjoying this process. And when that comes, then I'm going to have the financial capability to do so, because I had this job to support me in the meantime while I figure that out.
So I'm curious, someone with a master's, what, you know, advice would you have to someone who's in college who, you know, some people struggle to even, you know, get their associates or bachelors, never mind their masters. So someone who's going, you know, fresh out of high school and they're feeling pressure from their parents to go to college, you know, what advice would you have to someone to, you know, at least finish your 4 years first, or your 5 years, whatever it may take you? Like, you know, did you have those thoughts when you were getting your bachelor's? Like, oh, I'm going to quit. I have no idea what I'm doing. How about those people like who are just lost in like their route? What advice do you have to someone in, you know, those shoes?
I think luckily for me, I felt like I knew what I wanted to do since high school, was at least get a business degree, because business for me always seemed universal and applicable to whatever I wanted to do, whether it's like fashion, whether it's like if I like sneakers, I can get into sneaker industry. If I'm into like healthcare, there's a business in healthcare. And so I understood the versatility of business, and that's what made me go into business. And through that, I kind of just figured I'll be okay. Like, no matter what, it might not be what I want to do directly, but it'll build the foundation for me to get there. And I always knew school was temporary. So my mindset in school was, I'm going to go into school. I already made it for 12 years in high school. And as much as I didn't want to be there those 12 years, I still went every day, and it still made me who I am.
Yeah.
And school was all I knew at that point in my life. So I just applied that same mindset into college and was just put my head down and just put my head in the books and sucked it up for those 3 years, because I graduated my undergrad in 3 years. I took extra classes in the summer and thugged it out. But I just knew it was temporary. It was like, all right, this is the end of the goal. Just go to school, get a degree. And then for probably the rest of my life, I'll have something to fall back on. And I was cool with that. And that was my mindset. And then I got to my bachelor's and I was like, what's next? And I was like, okay, let me just look at the master's degree program for my school at the University of Rhode Island. And apparently they were just accepting like students with a certain GPA in the program. And I got in. And I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to just do this too. So I just kind of went along with it. It's not necessarily a game plan, but I just knew if I put my head down and just go through the motions of school, eventually I'll come out and be done with it. And through that, I'll have a foundation for something in my life that I'll always be able to fall back on.
You know, for sure. Yeah, no, that's definitely, no one can ever take that away from you. But do you think, like, college is needed for everybody, though?
I would 100% say that college is not needed for anybody, but it's necessary if you seek a solid foundation to fall back on. Like, it's not the answer. College is definitely not the answer. There's a lot of people, especially who I work with, who don't have degrees, who, people are dyslexic, who are like CEOs, and they're still doing well. And it's not about having a degree. It's more, how do you use your knowledge and how do you talk? How do you present yourself? And sometimes that's way more valuable than just having the degree. But sometimes the degree is what gets you through the door if you want those opportunities. So,
I definitely 100% agree. I mean, like, I don't think I needed to go to college for what I'm doing, but college definitely made me the person who I am, for sure. Like, I definitely wouldn't be the same person without those experiences, without doing study abroad, without going to New Orleans. It wouldn't have made me who I am. It would have made me the traveler I am, because, it definitely made me appreciate going to different countries, meeting new people, meeting people who are, stud boarding schools, and then in the entire life, and meeting their stories, hearing their parents' success stories. So I wouldn't have, dealt with that just going to, at that point I was going to Providence campus at URI, so it gets a lot more smaller going from the Providence campus opposed to Kingston. You kind of get into that same Rhode Island bubble going to that Providence campus, and it's like these people kind of doing the same thing over and over again. I'm like, I couldn't fall into this trap, so I need to like get out and do something different. So I definitely wouldn't be that same person without that experience. So like, you with going to grad school, you with the military making you guys who you are, and so seeking the opportunity with the military, getting that experience, you came back and then you had that internship and you did, and they laid you off. So is that layoff what kind of jump started the first competition, then leading to the second?
Honestly, losing a job, it sucks. Don't get me wrong, especially now with the way the dollar doesn't stretch like it used to. But it has opened the opportunity for me to be able to train more, for me to be able to put more of my own energy and more of my own focus. And just shout out to Jerry real quick. And shout out to you real quick, because you guys are Latino males, and having a degree makes you even more of a minority than you really are. So shout out to you guys, because that's something that, as someone who doesn't have a degree, I'm like low-key jealous, because it takes a level of commitment and it takes a level of discipline that not everyone has.
Well, thanks, we appreciate that for
Thank
sure.
you.
Of course.
For sure. Like, I kind of on Jerry's boat too. It's like, I don't know, if I needed this or not, but I was like, you know what, it's a fallback plan. I was the first person in my family to graduate from university. So on my dad's side, there's a couple of people on my mom's side, but definitely I'm first on my dad's side, not even a question. So just having that itself is a cool accomplishment to have,
and it only makes you more of a minority, dude. It's so crazy to think about as guys, like, not to, I don't want to sound sexist or anything, but a lot more females in general graduate from college more than males. Male Latinos graduate less than female, so it's just crazy because out of the three of us, two of you guys have degrees. Jerry has a master's, so it just shows you the level of commitment, focus, discipline, and that's something that's like, it's truly like, it makes me jealous because it's like, damn, like, it's not like an envy. I don't envy you guys. I just wish I could be able to apply myself like that education wise, but it's just not in my route,
No, I mean, I appreciate it, but it's a big shout out to you too, though. It's like, I couldn't do, like I said from the beginning, I'm not saying this because you said that. I couldn't do what you and my brother do. It never even crossed my mind. So never mind, shout out to you to, like, serving in the military for 6 years, because not everyone has that, in their plans. Like, could I do like the physical activity of it? Yeah, for sure, but I don't think I could do the mental grind behind that. Like, that was never part of my car. So, like, for you to do that and then come back, that's a big shout out to you too, and made you the person who you are. Because who knows what path you would have led down if not. You just don't know where you would have been without it.
Oh, definitely. I used to be like a little shit. I was a little fuckhead, and then it gave me discipline, and it leveled my head out, and it humbled me.
Yeah, maybe without that, who knows if you could ever even compete in a competition there, let alone two.
100%.
What's up, guys? That was part one of my conversation with Chris and Jerry. I want to thank Jerry and Chris for coming out. That was a good time. We ran for about 2 hours, so I'm going to turn that into a two-parter. But definitely go make sure you check out my boy Chris. He's competing October 22nd. He said he had to be there for like 9 a.m. in Franklin, Massachusetts. I'll get more details, and I'll put it in the description. So definitely go check out my boy. That's a lot of work. And I'm pretty positive me, Jerry, and David will be out there supporting you, bro. Keep your hard work up. And Jerry, keep your Apple Fitness goals up. You are making me motivated to keep hitting the gym and continue being on the progress journey that we all three are on. So thank you guys for tuning in. Go follow Chris and Jerry on Instagram. And go follow your boy, ExploreFF, on all social medias. Go follow EG Pot of Thunder on all social medias, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything, baby. Send us to the moon. I appreciate all the love and support. We got 50 coming up soon, so definitely, definitely check that episode out. It's gonna be dope. Got a couple guests lined up for that one to make it a special memory 50th. So thank you guys for all the support. I appreciate everything. Let's get it, baby.